Good evening. Devices are the one great love of my life. And like any love story, there have been many attempts, lots of rejections, few conquests. Today, after about spending maybe 10 years researching, implementing, trying, failing, then succeeding on few occasions, I get a chance to share with all of you my journey so far. And believe me, sharing with you is actually my need. Because whenever I share with someone from other walks of life, they go, nice, and that's about it. But today with people of my fraternity, I think I'll be able to share my ideas, take feedback, which is important for us as designers, and then move forward. The few things we're going to talk about, mobile site office, workstation setup, drawing on different mediums, and so on. So this is normally what we expect a decent site office to be. The reality is quite far in India. This is an actual site office that one of our sites has. It's a fairly expensive project, but this is where we have expected to take the most critical, most important decisions in the most adverse conditions. Our expectation is, quite basic, right? We're expecting it to be noise-free, dust-free, air-conditioned, hopefully, printer chalta ho, table chair ho, and most importantly, a clean toilet. Now, not having a decent toilet, for most of us, it's a problem. But for women I've spoken to, it's a never-ending nightmare. There have been occasions when I've been informed that many people choose not to drink water, not to eat anything, just so that they can extend the time they can spend at site. And I think all of us must have banged our heads trying to get our clients to get toilets made at site, but I've had zero success. This is what we finally had to come up with, mobile site office. It has comfortable seating, has a toilet, tea, coffee, microwave, a printer also, a refrigerator, a TV screen for discussions, presentations. So, and a couple of useless features, actually, if you ask me. So, a couple of bad decisions also happened. Automatic laptop tray. So, it's been acted out by people from our office. It's comfortable enough for a space for meeting up to 6 people. It has a good size table for discussions. We can open up drawings, look at material samples. Actually, anything and everything to do with site decisions. If we have a good enough space, if we're in the right frame of mind, I'm sure we can take better decisions, and so can our team. And quite a few advantages, if you ask me. People can now be productive while they're on the way to the site, while coming back to the site. Interesting so far? Yes, no? Yes, thank you. Next, let's think of making a supercharged up workstation. And I like to call it a command station. And the inspiration behind it is a Captain Kirk. I don't know how many of you would get this reference. I hope most of you would. You do? Chalo, great. So Captain Kirk is the inspiration behind a command station. Now, Captain Kirk is a regular person. He's intelligent, he's wise, he's strong, he's clever. But when he's at his station, he's a superhero. He can talk to anyone in the galaxy. He can destroy enemy ships with his phasers and lasers. This is what, let's say, our workstation, at least this is as far as we have reached, and it's been very effective so far. So the monitor that you see on the right is a draw monitor. We can draw directly on it. The main power behind this station is the main laptop. I'm not suggesting we use a desktop. And a double connectivity laptop and mouse. Now, how this works is, if there is anything that supposing someone needs to annotate on, draw out ideas, it can be done directly on the screen. We don't need to take out prints or switch to bring in a tablet or do something like that. I've really been a pen and paper person at heart, and I've really missed the fact that we are the medium that we've chosen to work with, which is digital, which is the way forward. In that we haven't really explored enough how we can actually put pen to paper or at least pen to board. You can have on-the-spot discussion. You don't have to actually go to a meeting room and, like I said, take out prints and then starting having a discussion. Cool, no? Also something fairly simple, but maybe quite a few of us haven't done it before. So just the fact that you have a good noise cancelling headphone at your station, a good webcam, that means you can instantly connect to anyone with Zoom or whichever software you're using. You don't have to find a quiet corner in the office somewhere, a meeting room somewhere. And when you're actually on your Zoom discussion or Teams meet, you can annotate on the screen itself. You can express the ideas, whatever has been communicated through you by a consultant, by a client. It will find a space on paper. The other person can see what you're trying to express through words. Another thing, I think most of our communication nowadays is happening on mobiles. About phone pay, people are doing TikTok. It's taken a lot of time when person is writing down those messages, WhatsApp messages on the phone. And in this setup, actually, you can use the keyboard itself to type out messages on the phone. Just saves us that much more time. And now for 3D workstations, it's just essential. We have to have two monitors. I'm sure maybe people are doing it, most of already have it. But it's so important, I thought I should also just put in a slide which emphasizes how important it is. Here you'll see that modeling is happening on one screen, while the designer can see the updated renders on the other screen. Also, when rendering is happening, parallel he can work also. Otherwise, the entire system gets hijacked when it's on video render mode. But this is a video render made in the office. Quite a few of my designer friends are outsourcing for videos and renders. I really don't think that's the way forward. A lot of confidential information we are sending to a third party. A lot of back and forth is happening. Time is being wasted. It's just about getting the right machine. And if anyone's interested, I'm happy to share those details. That's me. Sorry about the design idea. It was something very much at the last minute. So again, we have a screen in the meeting room. Because everyone's already focused on the screen, looking at the renders, at the plans, at the products on the screen. So it's a good idea to directly draw on the main TV screen itself, that the idea stays, people already focus onto it. You don't have to shift the focus from a TV screen down to some other medium. That's actually my favorite gadget. It's a 360-degree camera. Normally, our teams would go to the site, we would go to the site, it captures some site issues, try to bring it back to the office, and then we realize there are a couple of shots which are missing. In this, with one shot, you can capture the entire thing, floor, wall, ceilings. You can zoom into any detail. Well, this is just one shot. There is no Photoshop business here. And any site decision you want to take now, you can also take back in the office, because the entire site has now come to you. Just a word that I use, laptopization, because we are in the process of gradually converting all our regular desktop machines into laptops. This one is very helpful during site visits. So, see, one great advantage of keeping the laptop as the main machine is that you can easily get up for a quick meeting, emergency meeting. You don't have to transfer data to another machine, another tablet, or another laptop. So you can just get up, take your data, and you're ready to go. You land up in the meeting, you can take whatever design decisions you have to take. You can record them directly onto your machine. Till now, I see most people are just taking copy pencil notes, वापस आके उसको feed कर देंगे अपने machine के अंदर, वापस डाल देंगे. I mean, it just never happens. Most of the points get lost. So whether it is referring to your, so normally, especially I feel when we're doing homes and hotels, the agenda could be X, and we'll end up discussing everything but X. So it's so important to just carry our entire data set with us. So laptop power, yeah. Now, while laptops are great, but at site there is a problem. At site, as long as we're discussing on the table, there is a regular meeting type situation happening, the laptops are fine. But the moment actually you have to go and take a site round, at that stage, you can't carry your laptops around. For that, I struggled with the problem what to do, and I didn't want to transfer the data to another iPad or some other system, because that would mean capturing data in the iPad and bringing it, transferring it back to the laptop. So luckily, we found a system in which you can get a specific tablet. It mirrors the laptop data onto the tablet. So there is no data being transferred to the tablet. Whatever is happening on the laptop, you can see on the tablet. And tablet, you all understand, is much easier to carry around at a site or access whatever information we need to. So just an indication, it's a one-click system of syncing the tablet and the laptop. Now we're good to go. So whatever would be recorded would stay in the laptop. It wouldn't move out of the system. Upside, we would agree perhaps that it's easier to just take a laptop while you're moving around the site, access any drawings, 3D views. Again, something fairly common though, but so we've been using VR headsets for designing also to assess our own designs and also for presenting it for some projects to our clients. Something that we've done, we put up a big TV screen in the office, not only for cricket matches though, but largely, so when let's say I'm traveling to an international fair or even FOAID for that matter, so whatever ideas, products that we capture, they constantly keep on playing on the TV screen. Some new designs that we may have developed, those also keep on playing. So the entire office actually at least has a glimpse of what else is happening around, what else is happening in the office, and that really has increased their exposure over time. Work from home setup. Now, I'm not a fan at all of work from home as a policy, but I'm a big fan of work from home as a tool. So whatever work from home setup we had done during COVID times, during lockdown, so our teams have retained those work from home setups at their home. Now the advantage is, if anyone really has to, let's say, take out send an emergency mail, and it's late at night, early in the morning, maybe it's a chutti, so they can switch on the main office computer from their work from home computer. So even during lockdown, none of our main systems went to our team members' homes. We gave them a very simple, very secondary machine, and through remote desktop, TeamViewer, etc., they're connected to the main machines in the computer itself. So every machine, every software stayed inside the office, and just some very basic system which could just handle internet went to our team's homes. So, and that has stayed with them. So let's just, it's getting late at night, people have to go back and finish some work. So they go back at home, maybe have dinner, get comfortable, work a couple of hours, and the job is done. They don't really have to stay back late at the office, but yet we can do some emergency work if it has to be trained, let's say, by the end of the day. Just an example, so that's a team member sitting in Kerala. On the right, we have it's a very high-powered machine which runs SketchUp and Lumion. That's in the office, but she's working from a very basic system from her home. Now, like I said, I'm a big pen and paper fan. So all that we've done is largely for digital drawings. This one gets used for actually, so during Zoom meeting, during discussions. Whoops. Acha. There's supposed to be video playing, but what happens is, so he's making notes on paper, or making sketches on paper, but using that document camera, using this document camera, the video is then being transmitted through the Zoom meeting. So normally we're used to sharing screen. This is sharing physically what is right there in front of you. And also, in fact, for showing materials. Drawings is one thing. It's very liberating, I find, because you have paper in front of you, but you really can't show it in a video conferencing meeting. Stone sample hai, marble sample, you can just bring it in front of the camera, gives a very clear image. You can hold it in your hand, show different sides of it. Now the economic argument for it. A question maybe some of you might have in their minds, but what's the ROI? So we've done some basic hypothetical calculations. It's a little, I don't know how well I'll be able to explain it, but basically the end result is if we even, let's say, get a less than 5% efficiency improvement, close to 4 and 5% efficiency improvement, we're at break-even point. The basic idea is that people, if they have a chance to work faster in a more productive manner, they'll be producing more work. Apart from being apart from it being much more fun, much more enjoyable for them, it's like also driving a car. I mean, we would all love driving a good car, right? Where see people come to the office, find a lame system, I mean, it doesn't excite them. But let them come to the office, let them find some equipment which is really good, which is really cool. They enjoy their work also. So, like I said, with the basic 4% improvement, you're at break-even point. And with, again, a very, very, let's say, safe, conservative 10% efficiency improvement, you do end up saving a good amount of money, or rather generating more money for your office every month. Any questions? Any ideas to share? Any feedback?
First of all, thank you very much. This is really, I would say, selling your inner secrets. And I think you have done it so that a lot of people like us who are so much engaged in redundant work can actually ramp themselves up. And I would say thank you very much from the entire community to just share these things with us. Really, really helpful. But my question is that fortunately this mobile office that you've been talking about, if your office is in Delhi NCR, you can easily do these stuffs. But you have a lot of things like Starbucks or other cafes are around the site where you can sit and do stuff like these. But the problem comes up when you have an office just into the next state, or So driving your mobile office just all the way there and coming back, you won't be getting that much site with it, I'm pretty much sure. So how are you going to create an ROI for that part?
I agree that in certain scenarios, it might not work and might not work as well. If the site is in such a manner where the roads are a little, let's say, narrow, this probably can't go there. And maybe if it's really outstation, we have to travel, take a train. If it's in a different city, again, that same principle applies, wouldn't solve that problem. But at least to some extent, sites which we can access, we'll get an improvement for that. So the idea is to at least gradually improve step by step. Whatever problems we can solve, we should try and solve them. In fact, it's a very interesting point because we had that debate in the office also. That if we get this, how do we still address these sites? And for a long time, we kept on, let's say, holding ourselves back, कि ये कर दिया, ये नहीं होएगा, ये laptop ले लिया, ये नहीं होएगा. तो लगा at least जो हो सकता है वो तो करें.
Yeah, very true, very true.
Though it's just about like solving one problem at a time. Maybe if we meet next year, when we do meet next year, you might have a solution, I might have a solution, someone else might have a solution. So idea was to at least make a beginning.
Definitely, definitely. You have done a good job at that.
Thank you.
It's actually something to be really, imitating. And we can do that thing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. And for the toilet part,
that was very important. I totally agree.
I also was very late in realizing it because let's say some women in the office started saying, "Chalo, site pe nahi jana, whatever." And for many years, I couldn't figure out. Generally, it's a reluctance to go to the site because the environment is a little harsh. honestly, it was fairly recently I realized in most cases the main problem was the absence of a decent toilet. तो वैसे मोदी जी को बोलना चाहिए मे बी जब सब घरों का बन जाए तो एक साइटों के लिए भी ना कुछ निकाल दे कि
Actually, that is for the client part. The client don't give a shit about it.
they don't. So the basic excuses are कि हमारे घर से भी लेडीज़ आती हैं, उनको तो नहीं जाना होता, पास में कैफ़े कॉफ़ी डे है, हाँ, और 1-2 घंटे की तो बात है. So, yeah.
Thank you, really, thank you.
Anyone else would like to ask something, share something? Oh.
Hi, Jiskar.
Hi, Geeta.
So how do you incorporate technology in design? Because I know you are a hardcore paper pen person. So how have you coped up with this?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand it properly.
How do you incorporate technology in design? Like as designers, we are always
Right.
used to do sketches and lot of scrap work and then coming down to the AutoCADs and drafting part of it. So in technology, like how you have adapted it?
I'll share my philosophy behind it, although it's a borrowed philosophy. So Geeta and I are from the same class in college. And our professor, I don't know if Samir Mathur ji is here, he said one very interesting thing. He said the most important thing in design is another aspect which can be summarized in one word, which also starts from D. And it's not devices. He said it's decisions. So design, good or bad, has to come from decisions. जब तक decision नहीं दे रहे, design वैसे ही नहीं होने वाला. And I think for taking decisions, what do we need? We need the right data. We need the right, let's say, the right exposure. We need the right environment. So attempt through technology and devices, as far as I've been able trying to do, is to create all of this. The right environment, the right data being available to you. I'm sure the better data is available to us, the faster it is available to us, the better decisions we can take. And of course, the more in our mind, the different ideas we can process. If we are working faster, ideas not to produce more work, but to produce better work. If we can process more idea in the same set of time, I'm sure we'll be able to choose from, we'll have more options, better options to choose from. So that's my philosophy, and that's how I've been going about it. Does that answer?
Yeah, definitely. It's really wonderful the way you have incorporated
Thank
everything.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you for the very interesting presentation.
Thank
Your
you.
last slide was very intriguing. Like a lot of us don't know how to calculate profitability in an office. So could you explain the math or the concept behind that particular slide and how it is done so that we also understand how to, go through that process for our own offices?
I'll try to do it quickly. Thoda sa acha, they've started off, it doesn't matter. So the basic calculation is, we first figure out, let's say, what is the salary of us team which is producing deliverables. Let's just imagine, let's say, the slide was, acha, band ho gaya. Here, let's say, imagine an office of, let's say, 35 people. In 35 people, 25, let's say, are designers, architects. So they would have a certain salary. For sake of simplicity, let's say designers' ki salary is 10 lakhs, all put together. But your total office expense is 20 lakhs. So 10 lakhs for people who are doing deliverables, and 10 lakhs for the director salary, accounts, rent, bijli, printer, tea, coffee, everything else. So 2 buckets, 10 lakhs for the designer salary, 10 lakhs for every other expense. Now, if a designer's average salary, let's say 50,000, उस पे फिर वो loading हो गई of the other amount also. So in a way, let's say the cost to company is about 1 lakh per person. Now we have to see, and let's imagine your profit is, let's say very basic 25% है, 1,25,000 हो गया. So any improvement, any percentage improvement that we can do will affect this 1,25,000. Yeah. So we can look at the slide in the middle. Number of people, 35. Let's say number of designers, architects, उसमें 25 है, average salary 40,000. तो 10 lakhs हो गया expenditure on the Acha. So the per seat cost for a person, let's say it's like जैसे builders अपना करते हैं, carpet area उसके ऊपर वो super area, तो super area इनका जिसके 40,000 salary उसका 80,000 होगा उसका super area. And let's imagine कि we are doing a profit of let's say basic 25%, so total money being generated by that person is 1 lakh. Whatever percentage improvement we do, supposing 10% improvement आ गई, so he's able to produce work 10,000 rupees more per month. Now the entire per month cost of doing that setup that I've spoken about for that computer setup is 4,000. That's written in the second last slide. Additional cost of setting up a superpower system. So we are able to save whatever, so the break-even point is 4%. अगर 4% भी improvement हमने कर ली है, we've recovered the cost from day one. And in the other slide, it's pretty much the same thing. It just indicates that with again a very conservative 10% improvement, the entire company will be able to save how much? So we are looking at the middle example, 35 people. That company ends up saving, let's say, 1,40,000 per month, or generating a little more money per month by that much. I'm happy to share this offline also if you are keen on, please. So I think that's all the time that we have.
Can I ask something? Yeah. I just have a quick question.
Please, please.
Hi, Jaskaran sir. Thank you so much for this wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
I wanted to know that you introduced two gadgets with us. One is 2-in-1 laptop, which act as a tablet and a laptop while doing outside office meetings. And second is a tablet, which can take photographs and you can jot down your notes and design ideas over it.
Yeah, yeah.
How about using just a tablet, at the same time saving the cost on remote desktop where you're using your electricity at the office, and replacing it with a cloud storage where all the files are available on the cloud storage, so you can access the presentation, your PDFs, your ideas, your materials, and instead of having two gadgets, you can just use one.
Very valid point. हमारे साइटों में इंटरनेट ही नहीं होता है, ना टॉयलेट होते हैं, ना साइट ऑफिस होता है, ना इंटरनेट होता है. Forget about Wi-Fi. There is some curse, I think, while the site work is happening. यहाँ पे इंटरनेट कहाँ है आपके पास? यहाँ पे भी नहीं है. Even normal text message not going. This is a well-organized place. In construction side, I don't know what curse there is. I'm not technical enough to figure out if it's because of construction, whatever reason there is. But sites there is basically just no internet. Even in Delhi, heart of Delhi. So depending on cloud services, we've tried it and we failed at it. So I realize it's best to अपना सामान अपने साथ लेके चलें.
How about we just download the folder just before going on a site, the project folder?
Brother, I've tried it. So I think what he's saying is you can keep those files offline on your device also.
On the tablet.
But the problem is another point, in home especially, in which I'm more familiar with, the agenda could be X and we'll discuss everything but X. We'll discuss everything under the sun. First meeting में क्या हुआ था, एक साल पहले क्या हुआ था, और अगले महीने क्या होने वाला है. So what data we'll need to access, we don't know before the meeting. So I think the only way is just to carry the entire thing with you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When entire things can be carried on a cloud storage, when you can download it before the meeting, how do you think it will affect on the costing?
Data again, like I said, I have some understanding and some expertise of what I've been able to do. Okay. I'm not a tech expert by any stretch of imagination. So whatever I've been able to do, I have a good awareness of that.
That was a wonderful presentation.
उसके अलावा मेरे को नहीं पता है. But even then, anything to do with cloud, I think will be tricky to pull off. But please try it, and if you can do it, help me save some more money.
Actually, I am doing it. I was just knowing how it will affect if I switch to this model instead of this cloud model.
कर लो, but my basic idea is I want to keep all the data on the laptop, and I want the person to be able to even work at the site if possible. I'm a big believer that whatever thoughts, ideas come on the site, if we can implement it then and there, that's the reason why the site office is there. That's the reason why we're carrying all those laptops. If they can draw it, doodle it, sketch it, whatever on the site, and keep it within the same system. I'm not a big fan of data getting transferred back and forth again and again as a repetitive exercise. So these were the reasons why I did it. But then again, if it can be cracked in the manner which you're suggesting, I'll be very happy to listen and improve upon it.
Very, very nice point. Sure. Thank you for your views.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Very, very interesting presentation, and I think good set of questions coming from the audience. I would now request Mr. Umang Rajpal from Lead Linear to come forward to present a token of appreciation to Mr. Singh, please. Yes. Once again, a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We come to an end in terms of this fantastic set of panel discussions and presentations here at Design Manthan. Thank you so much once again.